All right, so here's something to consider, particularly for overhead throwers. A large majority of injuries that happen, obviously in baseball with throwers, happen to the elbow, the medial elbow, and it's going to happen or occur with some type of valgus force, right? Usually when you're in layback, as you go into layback, that valgus force gets applied onto your elbow and it pulls those apart, and that's what, there's force happening right there, right? So if you really think about kind of like the insanity of what we're doing as it relates to preparing to be able to throw, the majority of injuries that happen occur with some type of valgus force like that, but there is nothing that is generally done in a training setting where we apply a high amount of valgus force to prepare for that, right? So like if you break it back and look at what is if the actual goal of training is to prepare you for the thing that it is that you're going to do for your life, and throwing is a part of your life, and throwing at high velocities at high intensity, etc., is a part of your life, but we're not preparing for one of the main leaks that we found that happen in terms of valgus force being applied, and we don't train and prepare for that. Like, what are we actually doing with our training? We're not actually training and preparing. We're just doing movements and doing exercises because this is all we thought of how to do, basically, right? So if you look at it from that lens and from that context, like if you were to think, I'm going to prepare my legs to go throw, but then you don't do anything for your legs, how is that preparing your legs to go throw? You're like, no, I need to, whatever it is, like I need to train lower half in order for my legs to be able to prepare when I throw, so I can make, if you're a starter, like so I can go 7 innings or so I can go 9 innings or whatever it is, like you need to prepare it. But then we look at elbow valgus and we're like, there is nothing that we're going to do to train this, right? And so to me, that just, it doesn't make sense, and it's a completely illogical thing that we're doing. It's just that when we do valgus type exercises or moves like this, they tend to look a little bit more extreme, a little bit more dangerous. And that's, I think, why we don't do them, or just like no one has considered it. But so point being, that I really like this is one example. This is one exercise or example that I'll use to train individuals like with that valgus force. And obviously I've been doing this for a while, so this is me going at absolute 100%. Doesn't mean that you'd start there, but it's looking at, hey man, if we're going to introduce you to high amounts of valgus force when you throw in your sport and in your life, like we should probably train and prepare for that if we say we're going to train and prepare for what you want to do.